Have BK for lunch, let me tell you, it's not sitting well. It never does, brother. Top 10 times Burger King understood the assignment. The assignment was giving its customers, don't say salmonella. Don't say salmonella. E. coli? It's true. I've beaten the allegations. I am not sick, at least as of right now. Not only am I not sick, I set a PB on my third ride this morning. Tell them, DL Guiga. Tell them. Tell them, Moomin Rider. Now, it was not an outrageous PB. My previous PB was 434 kilojoules in 30 minutes. This one was 439. By the way, like I knew I was going to be late for an hour. Kate is still sick and will be for several days. Holding the household together like Spider-Man with the two webs, keeping the New York subway train from going off the edge of the cliff. The reason I was late, even after the time that I said I was going to be late, is because I went to pull out of my driveway this morning, and there was a motherfucker in a Dodge Ram 1500 blocking my driveway. And I got into my car and turned it on, drove to the end of my driveway so that my car was like 6 inches from his rear end. And then he looked out like over the bed of his truck, and he was loading tools into his truck. And he had the audacity to hit me with the timeout gesture. Like, no, I know I'm blocking you, but don't worry. It's just going to take a minute. And then it took like a fucking, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. And then he finally left. What are you supposed to do? I'm not going to, get out of my car and kill him. I thought it was like one of the rules of the road is like you never block someone's driveway. Even if you have to, park half a block away. You get his license plate? Yeah, but what am I going to do? If I ever see his car again and he's not there, maybe I'll let the air out of his tires. But it's not like I'm going to call the police and be like, this guy was blocking my driveway. What are they going to do? Send a fucking time traveler out here to lecture him? Send a time cop back in time? Hey, someone's going to be leaving this driveway in 8 minutes. You better move your ass. If they sent a cop, you would just blow him anyway? That's true. That's a good point. In the States, you could get towed for blocking a driveway. Well, the thing, he was there, right? Like, if I called a tow truck, it would have been inconveniencing me, really, because by the time the tow truck got there, there would have been no car there, and I wouldn't be there either. And then they'd probably be calling me, threatening to, have me dig my own grave in the Nevada desert, because they're all run by the mafia. What I should have done, you're right, is have a truck block him in, so he knows what it feels like. Unfortunately for him, I'm a nice guy, so I didn't do that. Instead, I folded my arms in my car like he could pick up on my body language. Honestly, sorry, I started saying fucked up shit in my head like, honestly, just based on this guy's parking job, I can tell he's stupid, so I don't want to make his life any harder by making him availed of that phenomenon. It's probably hard enough just for him to get his truck to the right place in the first place, so, the fact that he made it within 45 meters of his destination, call that a participation medal. Did you tell chat what happened after your PB? Yeah, DL Guiga beat me on my low impact ride. Moomin Rider might have as well, as far as I know. DL Guiga, did you tell them what happened before my PB ride? Oh, that's right. You fucking weren't there. My ass did a 30-minute. I don't even remember the 30-minute Christine Decole 90s ride, where inexplicably the 90s ride had fucking Hey Ya in it, which clearly came out in like 2003. Had Lenny Kravitz's American Woman, which I feel like is from is 2002 or something like that. By the way, not me on the toilet this morning scrolling through the replies to Anthony Fantano's tweet, what's the best album of the early 2000s? I didn't realize that at some point we crossed the line of snobbery where 10 years ago people would be like, dude, it's The Glow Part 2 by the Microphones. Easy. Now people were legitimately like, it's gotta be Let Go by Avril Lavigne. What the fuck happened? I'm not saying it's like a bad album. I'm just saying, it's got a couple of singles on it. Since I Left You by the Avalanches. It's a good one. I was thinking about it. I don't know, man. Listen. It's performative anti-snobbery. Mad Villainy, pretty good one. I don't know. Like, look at me. You could probably guess my favorite album of the early 2000s. I'd have to go and look through, like, what came out 00 to December 31st, like 04. In all likelihood, my ass is probably going to be like, I know that they're kind of, people prefer Summer Teeth these days, but I got to say that, to be honest, I still think Yankee Hotel Foxtrot is very moving. You look like you enjoy Wilco? I just say, bro, it's like Yankee Hotel Foxtrot goes pretty hard, okay? I mean, Poor Places has some pretty experimental stuff at the end of the track, okay? If you weren't there when Yankee Hotel Foxtrot came out, then looking back at it like with revisionist history, you might not appreciate it as much as you did growing up in a post 9/11 soundscape where that was the most rebellious sound you could possibly muster and still manage to get on MTV as well. Have you seen First Reformed? I've seen the Wikipedia synopsis of what happens in the movie. Sounds pretty good. If we count Wikipedia synopsises, I probably watch like minimum 10 movies a week. So yeah, I'd say like I'm a pretty big fan of cinema. Crazy? Still good, still good. It's okay, they're clean. And you can eat your cereal right out of the ashtray if you want to. Wait, I got the lines reversed. If you're gonna quote Weird Al, at least own the nerdiness and get it right. What is he doing? You're just maxing styling on you. Oh, I honestly thought you would miss, which doesn't really make sense. Stay up there. We got an ult ready to go. We poke you. Silence, I poke you. I'm ulting. Oh no! Tough luck, brother! Phase 2? No, 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 no. No, no. Cutscene after phase 1. Things you don't love to see. Maybe it's just an NPC that's gonna give me a piece of loot. Doesn't look like it. He's like, wow, you did it, you beat me, here's your reward. Can I have my heals back, please? Holy cow. Probably one of those bosses where phase 2 is like a triviality. What is this? Get him? Oh, I was popping, bro. I was popping. So the game is basically Bloodborne 2 then? It's a Souls game in its heart. Somewhere between a Bloodborne and a Dark Souls for sure. It's fun though. Well, like honestly, I was talking about it a little bit in the Discord last night. But I feel like I'm not suggesting that there was anything untowards in the reviews for Lies of P. I am kind of surprised that it's sitting like a high 70s aggregate though. Because like it's exactly what I want out of a Souls-inspired game, which is that it tries almost nothing new and instead just replicates the franchise that I already know and love. Meanwhile, like it's getting a 7.5 out of 10 from like every major outlet. Meanwhile, Zelda 27 is like, whoa, it's a brand new experience. Here's 10s. No, please don't say it. Don't say it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Everybody's different, you know? It's probably not the same dude reviewing Lies of P that's reviewing Zelda, that's reviewing Baldur's Gate. Lies of P, they probably didn't anticipate would be that popular, so as a result, they put like an intern on the review or something like that. And if you're an intern, you can't just come out of the gate and give Lies of P the 10 it deserves. You're going to have to answer to your editor-in-chief. Like, I understand the incentives and the so-called checks and balances. I think you know what it is? The early copycats always get too much flack. The first game that does something new rightfully gets rewarded. The next half a dozen copycats get scolded, and then it becomes a new genre, and like 10 years later, people are like, Lies of P is the 5th best Souls game. It's coming, bro. As always, I'm still waiting for the gamers to come to terms with the fact that Marvel Midnight Suns was the best strategy game of last year. Lords of the Fallen did it first. Yeah, but this is like at least 2 times as good as Lords of the Fallen. Lords of the Fallen is okay, don't get me wrong, but I mean, this is almost the Souls game. This is like how if you want to listen to Radiohead, but your friend puts on Muse, you would be like, if I squint my ears, I can kind of hear it. What happens on Wheel of Fortune if on the final fortune they give you RSTLNE and the word is relent? No! Yes! Like, do they just give you whatever you got on the spin? Can I just get like I'm not asking for the world. Can I get a small prop? Not even multiple props for at runtime coming up with a word that you can make entirely with RSTLNE. The first word that came to my head was learnts, which is not a word. Many of you are rightfully pointing out. Learnts, Lernt's, Learnts. Wrestling, so close. That has an I in it and a G. Medea goes to school. So true. I'm here to learns. So close, that's a shape. That's what I was trying to reference. I can't remember though. What's the tweet? It's like there's no color named after a fruit. Someone said, I don't remember. There's so many useless tweets floating around in my head. I do remember the punchline. Close, that's a shape. Yeah, sure. 8-piece combo, no big deal. Try to get that at the airport. $78 in Newark. +2. So you're as online as I am. We love to see that. That dude had to be drinking some crazy whiskey. I gotta say, you do not have to hand it to David Brookes, okay? By any circumstance. But the dude is kind of like living my nightmare right now. Probably like half turned. Decided to go tell a lie on Twitter for clout. And then became the main character of Twitter for like 3 days. Oh, I know it's not his first time being the main character. That's how I'm familiar with him. I was losing it. The first time I looked at it, I thought that he had the world's worst salad alongside the burger, but he did pull off all the lettuce and the tomato slice and was just eating like a Happy Meal style hamburger. And I'm just sorry to tell you that you can't. Listen, I know how this sounds. You can't self-style yourself as an intellectual who writes for the New York Times and scrape all the vegetables off your burger and then squeeze some ketchup on top of it like a 12-year-old kid. It's just not like it's incoherent. They don't vibe with each other. There's cognitive dissonance. You're gonna tell me you got the world figured out? I should be listening to you? You don't eat lettuce? There's nothing worse than a tomato slice on a burger thicker than the burger. Okay, David Brookes, this shit was like a millimeter thick, okay? I get it. It tastes yucky. You don't have to justify yourself to me. I'm asking you to. You don't have to. My controller is unplugged. Imagine how annoying it would be to run with that little lantern bouncing off your cheeks. It's true, man. I mean, I have a man bag now. I would say it's approximately the size of like an iPad mini. And even that just impedes me. Like if I ever have to jog to like catch up to my daughter or something like that, like I feel like I've got to hold it with one hand, otherwise it's like bouncing off of my solar plexus. Just say bag next time. Okay, Tone Police. Wii U. Chat says they hate cops. Meanwhile, as soon as you say the phrase man bag, all of a sudden everybody's a sucker for perfect diction. It's like a sling bag. Fucking who cares, motherfucker? It's a joke. It's not necessary to the joke. I'm just saying I could relate to P because he's got his damn lantern hidden in his cheeks every time he's trying to sneak through the Abbey. Same thing, me outside trying to like unload groceries from the cart onto the conveyor belt, but I feel like I gotta keep one hand on my bag so that it's not draping on top of the soy milk. I stopped carrying a man bag because my friends made fun of me for carrying lactate pills in it. I mean, honestly, that's just a weak mindset. That wouldn't be me. You actually... I say this, I know it sounds insane. No, I'm not going to tell them they need to get new friends. Friends banter. You ever hear the expression, you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose? You need to pick your nose, brother, and pick one that's made of some stronger stuff. They're just bantering on you a little bit. It's the spirit of male friendship, at least for the millennial generation, is like busting your friend's balls. I won't deign to tell you what it's like for Gen Z, because I, quite frankly, don't know. But I will say, nobody making fun of me outside can do shit to me that hasn't already been done to me by a Twitch chat. So I'm saying I'm immune to all public ridicule at this stage of my life, because I spend roughly 5 hours a day taking anonymous beatdowns from all comers. I'm built to defend myself. I feel like if you're not born in New York City or Philadelphia, the only way you can approximate exposure to that banter-rich environment is by being a streamer. You should go back to wearing a man bag. Honestly, a man bag is sick. As long as it stays tight to your person. Like a purse seems annoying because it's like rattling around all over the place, but one that just kind of hangs tight on your body, that's the stuff, man. I mean, a purse seems great because you got like nutso capacity in that fucker. I just think it'd be annoying to be like walking around and have it like, you know, hitting you in the side of the ribs all the time. Like, don't you end up bruised at the end of the day? Just wear a backpack? Why are you worried so much about what I wear? I mean, you're the one wearing a backpack outside. Maybe you should worry about what you wear. Sorry, how's the college dropout tour treating you? How's your internship at Ernst & Young going? Fucking suit and a JanSport backpack on the SkyTrain, motherfucker, looking at my man bag. And I can't read your response. I'm sure you're like, it's not Ernst & Young, I'm at KPMG. My mom didn't have any connections at Ernst & Young. Did you see Tim Scott tweet, I was feeling hungry, luckily I saw the Golden Arches, and then it's a picture of him eating a hamburger. And then someone else, like another verified politician, replied and said, McDonald's food is consistent and always alleviates my hunger. These are two robots discussing food, right? What kind of AI-ass comment is McDonald's is always consistent and alleviates my hunger? Like, it's it is AI talking. All right, I mean, you may be right. People be like, dude, social media is so easy these days. You can outsource everything to ChatGPT. Meanwhile, ChatGPT is writing shit for you like, McDonald's is so consistent and always alleviates my hunger. You've said the same thing about McDonald's? I didn't say... You see, this is why the world is actually going to be doomed by AI. You would never catch me saying some robot shit like that. McDonald's is consistent and always alleviates your hunger. No, fucking C-, see me after class. I used to work at a private school. You can't fail people no matter how bad they do. Maybe I said something like, this might be a controversial take, but when you're hungry, food hits different. Chibli's sleep schedule is so fucked up he could be here for the start of the stream. Also, did you see the... Sorry, this is my did you see this bit? But I mean, we're just fighting the same boss over and over. Did you see the fake Elon Musk account that was tweeting like, slept in the supply closet last night because I always get nervous before rocket launches? And it's clearly like fake. It's an AI generated image. And then all the people replying to it think it's really Elon Musk, and they're saying stuff like nobody understands like how much you do for humanity and stuff like that. It was real. I'm sorry to tell you, it was 100% not real because he looked cool. My God, just kill me on that one. AI generated responses? I would love to believe that, but I don't believe that. Because there are like 9 different heart emojis in the Twitter handle, and then it's always goes off on some rambling like, you know, in 1997 I met you once when you came into the coffee shop where I was working, and I said, who's this interesting fellow with a South African accent? And I had no idea that that day would change the course of my life. You're like, girl, he doesn't know your name. He doesn't know who you are. Who you got, Elon versus Zuck? Okay, in this household we use his full name. Elon Musk versus Zuck my tongue. By the way, Chib, are you playing Liza P? Are you playing anything? I guess you just got back. It takes a little bit to get your sea legs back. Think I might quit? That's pretty base. I don't think you should become a barista though, Chibli. I think, honestly, I feel like being a barista probably sucks. At least being a barista at Starbucks must suck. Because instead of making like flat whites all day, you're making fucked up like pink sparkle unicorn fraps that you don't even have a recipe for. It's just like somebody on TikTok made that shit up. It's got like 90 instructions. That sounds annoying as hell. I guess if you work at like a real coffee shop, the kind of place that like they don't sell a large coffee, they sell a 12 ounce and then a 16 ounce. Everybody in the coffee shop laughs at you. Hey, can I have a large iced coffee? Oh, this guy again. We don't do sizes like that. Would you like a 12 ounce or a 16 ounce? Oh, you mean a tall or a small? Okay, I guess I'll pick the small. And we don't actually sell iced coffee. We only sell iced Americano. Is that okay? Yeah, you know, it's okay because it's the same thing. Like, what are we doing here? Can we just... I don't want a large farva. I want a damn liter of cola. An Americano is water and espresso. Bro, what do you think coffee is? Isn't life complicated enough? Have you been to Woods Coffee in Washington? The sizes are spruce, oak, birch, and redwood. I can't live with that shit. I already learned Italian just so I wouldn't get laughed out of Starbucks, but... Can I have a venti pink sparkle frappuccino? I fucking oh, it's the worst. Knowing that I just got 2-tapped with no response and then seeing people write like this is the run because they're 7 seconds behind feels so fucking bad. Oh, man. People into wine versus people into coffee. Well, here's a hot take for you that I think it has only come with time. I think neither of them are annoying. I think it's annoying if they give off an air of superiority, but sometimes that air of superiority comes from them, and sometimes it comes from within you. You know, if you think that they think they're better than you because they, like, you ordered a nice coffee and they ordered like a mocha choca frappa latte or something, then that's, you know, that's something you gotta deal with yourself. It's fitting that I got a Starbucks ad.
I know my way.
The corporation can buck my star as far as I'm concerned. Unless I'm like in an airport where I really need a coffee and then all the other options are other chains that are worse. Fuck Starbucks! Unless it's the best option available and I'm in a pinch. But as long as I have a choice, fuck Starbucks! The next revolution in souls, I'm calling it right here, They're gonna make a game where you can sip with one hand and attack with your other hand. Simultaneous sips and attacks. It's gonna completely bust the meta wide open. Shouldn't have attacked. Deserved. Me when my shift begins. You have a problem. Unless it's a white monster. Am I right, Chibli? I did see the TikTok of the guy who in his percolator, his coffee maker, he filled up the filter all the way to the top with coffee grounds. So that's already a lot of coffee. Then instead of water, he poured 2 different cans of Monster. And then brewed that son of a gun. It was a full pot. He poured himself a cup, and then instead of like cream, he poured a 5-hour energy into it. And at least like, I don't even want to know, like 100 grams of sugar. I hate when people are like, that would literally kill me. But I think that is one of the things where I'm like, I want to see a follow-up tweet that's like, hey guys, my heart exploded and I'm dead in heaven now. But people are like, they'll go insane. They'll be like, you know, me when I have pre-workout. And I'm like, you probably gets you a little bit jacked up. But what, it's like caffeine and, you know, a little taurine. You'll be okay. You're just going to the gym and doing like bicep curls. Like, let's just relax. It's not like government-issued methamphetamine designed to keep you on the front lines during the winter war. Like, the human body is capable of absorbing that. But there is a lot of caffeine. It's as much as you could probably distill into a liquid solution, I'd have to guess. Thought about posting videos on X? I've heard that it's getting greater numbers than any legacy media platform. It's very tempting. I've also seen that some of the biggest creators out there are earning upwards of like $100 a month. I mean, you don't have to be a business genius, you know? $8 a month to earn $100 a month. Then you start applying scale on that. You know, you stack it up over, you stack it up over a day, I'm ahead of you. You stack it up over a week, we're not even in the same zip code anymore. You stack it up over 5 years, I'm in a different reality to you altogether. Question was, is this your signature? Is this your handwriting? I'd say once every 2 years I look at that Donald Sterling quote, man. It gets me every time. So who's to say, yes, sometimes if I'm with a pretty girl and she says she wants to start sucking my thing, then who am I to say no? I'm only human. Sir, the question was, is this your handwriting? Does anyone want to buy a 2003 Buick LeSabre? Oh, man. I don't, but, you know, keep plying your trade. How's the Buick LeSabre as an automobile? I don't think the brand exists anymore, but how crazy is it that, like, literally, Buick's close to this. It's not quite this, like, one-to-one. But how crazy is it that anytime you see an Oldsmobile, it's 100% driven by an old person. Like, it's a 100% success rate on the stereotype. I get that it's not called Youngsmobile, but I have to imagine at some point in like the 1950s, there were people who were like buying their first car and they're like, I want an Oldsmobile. That shit, it stopped at some point. Don't worry, Gen Z's not buying anything. We'll be renting groceries soon enough. Don't be shy, take a picture of your grocery order. Oh, you're complaining about groceries, and then you had the audacity to buy canned beans instead of dried beans? Wow, it's kids these days. You don't even know you can save 1 pico cent per bean. Oh, name brand beans, huh? You didn't go for the no-name beans? 74 cents a can instead of 78 cents a can? I guess I do have to say the opposite of this bit. is the dude who said, hey, 78 bucks for this dinner at the airport, and then it turned out it was legitimately due to something silly. But Tim the Toolman Taylor? You know another thing that's crazy on Twitter? Once every 8 months, Tim Allen, who has the most secure job of all time because Pixar will never stop making Toy Story related films, jeopardizes his entire career by tweeting something insane. And in the replies for his most recent insane tweet, it's a bunch of people. It's the worst joke of all time. It's basically the I identify as an attack helicopter joke from a so-called professional comedian. So many of the replies are people saying, this made my day, and then a gif of Tim Allen on Home Improvement. And literally in every single gif, it's him holding like a power tool and going, huh, 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 huh. Shit drives me insane, man. Don't tell me that's not the real Tim Allen, Chib. Come on, don't tell me I got baited twice. I'm just kidding, F him. Okay. Chiblee, welcome to the Resistance. Well, we'll run it back. Is this fun? The way I would describe this is like, remember when you were in school and you finished like the math worksheet a little early, and then the teacher, you said, what's next? More math, so I can farm more dopamine off my class. Hey, by the way, Valentine, thank you for the gifted subscriptions, thank you. And then your teacher said, what do you mean what's next? That's what we had on the docket today. So she gives you a word search. This is like a world where word searches don't exist. Your reward is getting another boss and constantly improving as a result of that. I'm not sure I follow. More men wear bracelets than eat stew these days, is what I'm trying to say. What I'm actually trying to say, oh, I get it now. What I'm actually trying to say is that, yes, the fun part of Souls is losing until you win. You know, this isn't EDH night for Magic the Gathering, where you're like, it's just about spending time with my friends, and then all of a sudden you're the first person out, which means you gotta go to the Quickie Mart and buy the snacks, and you're like, I fucking hate these guys. It's about the journey, not the destination. Gaming Nexus Kingston ass moment. Listen, I've never been to the Gamers Nexus in Kingston. I have no idea what the community is like there. It might be great. It also used to be right next to a great sandwich place, but then the sandwich place shut down. That's the end of the story. Except that the sandwich place was called Stuffed Urban Eats. But because of the font that they used on the sign, it looked like it was called Stuffed Urban Cats. Maybe the centipede attack half takes more damage? Yeah, maybe. You could buy the game for yourself and check it out. So actually, you don't even have to buy it. It's available on Game Pass. Why do we go through this every time? You don't seem to be close to mentally broken yet, which is good. You know these are video games. These are single-player video games. You and the developer are in a dance with one another to have entertainment and enjoyment. If you're mentally broken by a single-player game, turn the screen off, man. This is your leisure time. Not for me, like I'm at work right now. But for you, there's no mental break coming on this. If we can make it through Seath and Priscilla, where we may have had a mental break, I honestly don't recall. We can definitely make it through Fallen Bishop Andreas. They didn't even do that much damage. I'm feeling like a new man. is a worse man than I used to be. Okay, that's okay. This is no problem. It just takes practice. Maybe a little bit of attention. Nope. None perfect parry. Pretty bad. There we go. Should have S'd so I could get a bit of a recharge. Okay, okay, okay. So back. Readless in Seattle. Okay, fair enough. Oh! Sometimes you have to send it. See, it wasn't that hard. We could probably beat him with the default Pinocchio nose. Kiln of the First Flame? Holy fuck. It's just chilling.
And now,
This is what happened to your TV if you watched Ozymandias as it aired live on AMC. Vince Gilligan sending concentrated beams of Gaia straight to your TCL smart television. Where did he go?
go back to the old crowd. The old before the greed overtook me.
That's so funny. I miss the old crat. Lord forgive me, but I'm about to go back to the old crat. Hey, NL, which group of people that think the American economy is dead is your favorite? I don't know. Probably people who should know better that constantly keep posting like out of context charts about the rise of P. What the hell's going on? About the rise of the American national debt without posting the other side of the balance sheet, which is the colossal increase in the asset value of what the U.S. holds. That's a big one. Perpetual de-dollarization stands, who like anytime they see any movement in the Forex market are like, this is it. This is where people in Ohio are going to start trading in the Chinese yuan when they go to the gas station. Maybe one day, people who treat the American national debt as if it's like your household debt, and they're like, we have, so many $1 trillion of debt, but we only make like so many $1 trillion a year. How are we ever going to pay it off? You're never going to pay it off. Your country's never going debt-free, man. This ain't the Dave Ramsey show. You get a loan from somebody at 5%. You use that to build shit that generates 7% annually, and then you just pay them back with the interest, bro. It's the way it would. It's not real. This isn't your student loans. This shit's never going to zero. My promise to you is I will never get positioned out. I will either explode or I will at least finish the race. I'm not getting lapped out. I may finish the race in 43rd place, but I'm not getting lapped out. Let me put it that way. Me, when I talked to the gas station attendant in Oregon. Librarian, have you been around when I told this story? That Kate and I were coming back from a Magic the Gathering tournament we drove to that was in Portland. We needed to gas up our car. Pardon me. Pulled up to the gas station, and then I was just about to get out of my car, and then there was like an incredibly skinny looking man with long hair standing outside of our car window, and I just went, oh, what's going on here? And then we were just looking at each other, and then after like 10 seconds, he was like, well, And I rolled down my window and I was like, how can I help you? And he was like, what kind of gas do you want? And I was like, oh, sorry. I forgot it was one of these states. You were graced by the juicer. It's just different. I mean, at the time I was like, this is so stupid, I can pump my own gas. Now I'm like, you know what? It's kind of sick that there's like a job there. Like obviously I could pump my own gas. I could also like bring my own shit out of the kitchen and fucking like put it on the table for myself, but waiters exist, so we may not have a respectable just go, just finish. All right. I lived. Could be worse. Good turn. I can't say that in any cadence except good sleep and a buffet for dinner. They said, well, no promises. I said, I can promise you this. If you look at my mathematical calculations, I think you'll find the mathematic is correct every time. As they say, bye. It's living rent-free in my head for sure. I can't play the video, Mom. I'm in a mini-pre right now. I'm on Deathwind. That sounds like your father after we eat Greek food for dinner. Hey, did you say something? I could play them all. I could play every character in the damn sitcom, man. Please hire me. It's so funny, too. I gotta be careful what I say, because yesterday, I popped over to the spare room where my parents were, and I was like, how was your afternoon? And they were like, just so you know, we can hear everything you say during the stream. I said, okay. So honestly, thanks for letting me know before I say something I regret. I gotta say, though, I came over yesterday, it broke my heart to see that they were watching the Roku channel. I was like, you know, we got Netflix on this thing, we got Disney Plus, we got Prime Video. You don't have to watch whatever crap they're throwing on the Roku channel. I'm sure there's some like half decent stuff on there, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I felt like I was a bad host. What's your average weekly phone usage? You know what? I'll pop that live on stream. How do I do that? I guess I gotta look in digital well-being. Digital well-being. Okay, I gotta open. Well, you know what? You're gonna have to give me a second. I gotta open up the digital well-being app next time. Average screen time. Hang on, I found it. Daily average screen time. 2 hours, 41 minutes. It's not too bad. Lamau, that's so much. I mean, on the average weekend day, I'm outside with my daughter for like 9 or 10 hours. You know, playing Pokemon Go, looking at my phone to see if it's time to go get lunch yet. Oh, it's only been 1 minute since the last time you looked at your phone. Mine's almost 7. I don't even think like that's that bad. I bet there's like the average like 16-year-old probably has like 14 hours of screen time on the weekends. 7 is like half your day on the phone. Yeah, but I know like some of you are being assholes about it. And you're like, wow, my phone screen time is so low. And I'm like, what are you doing with the rest of your time? Your ass is like watching Netflix. Like it's the same shit, it's just you're doing it on a bigger screen. It's not like mine's that much different either. I'm just saying I'm not trying to like moralize about it. Like if your phone screen time is low and you're like, oh, that makes me a more well-adjusted person, don't let me catch your ass using your non-phone screen time to like play Path of Exile or something like that. I don't think phone, Netflix, and gaming are on the same level of badness. I mean, of course, not all screen time is created equal. I mean, like, Netflix is probably the best, as much as it pains me to admit. Actively engaging in some form of media that could maybe give you an emotional sensation. That might be the least unproductive. The worst is definitely like mindlessly being on your phone. And like closing an app and then being like, I'm bored of that app, I'm gonna open a different app and then it's the same app. That one's definitely the worst. If you spend like more than 30 minutes a day doing that, you gotta you'll make your life so much better if you could just stop that. Just watch a movie instead. At least you'll get something out of that. But I also feel like you shouldn't feel bad about your screen time because you're not a toddler. Like this, people use screens these days. Like most, especially like if you don't have something getting you out of the house, like I would recommend mixing it up and trying to get something that does get you out of the house. But at the same time, like, what's your ass gonna do, right? I know what it's like. The childless millennial lifestyle is a lot of like looking at screens, and then like when you're not looking at a screen, it's because you're out at a restaurant at dinner. A buffet for dinner. My parents use their phone at the dinner table. Honestly, even that, like, I mean, I'm supposed to be the judgy one. I feel like it's not that out of the pocket. As long as you and your other diners have agreed upon the level of decorum you should have for the dinner. I didn't know it was the final lap. Fair enough. Old people use their phones more than young folks. Honestly, I would love it if that take were true, but I don't agree. I do think that there are people of a certain age who do use their phones all the time. But I mean, I feel like the people who are using their phone the most are definitely like 19 years old today. Now, if we're talking about iPads are for 2-year-olds and like 55-year-olds, which is fine. I've been there once. iPads didn't exist when I was 2. Would have changed my life probably, for the better or for the worse. Millennials do be using their phones too. Up all night looking up Michael Scott GIFs in the GIF keyboard. Tell me I'm wrong, Chibli. Tell me I'm wrong. Balatro demo? No, I'm mad at the Balatro developer. Not really, but nobody tells me when I can play video games, okay? I was in the Balatro. I was making great progress. They said, please don't play anymore. I said, okay, that's fine. But don't expect me to come crawling back when Steam Next Fest happens, or Steam fucking Games Done Spooky Halloween sale, which just supplanted the autumnal equinox sale, which just supplanted the end of summer back to school sale. No, man. When it comes out, I will Kylian Mbappe it. I will be there no matter what. I'm not going to burn out on the demo. You didn't want me to burn out on the demo? Fine, I'll never play the demo ever again. Be careful what you wish for. But I will pay for the full game. Some of you guys are cool, by the way. Do not use your barbecue with natural gas. Just pay whatever you need to pay for the propane tank. I cooked chicken breasts on the barbecue last night to have barbecue chicken with the salad my mom was making. Took like 40 minutes to cook 4 chicken breasts up to temperature, and I was using a meat thermometer. It don't burn hot enough, man. I gotta go get a propane tank in order to get this thing going. I mean, I guess I could buy a charcoal barbecue, but we already have a gas one. I thought I was doing something wrong until a saint in chat told me that natural gas just doesn't burn as hot as propane. You saved my life and my male self-image. It's crazy that fire can be like different temperatures, though. But you know, we don't need to get into the science of it, I suppose. Okay. Then you pop. Oh, that's a big one. It would be, what a horrible drive. It would be awesome to come in first. If we can't come in first, just set yourself up so you feel comfortable, you know? Just so you got a career, and Esteban Ocon isn't going to take your seat at the mid-season break. Very acceptable. Feeling fantastic. People are sparking up there. You knocked me? How dare you? I'm smoking. Don't. Thank you so much. still kind of horrible. Because I don't know if I can boost on boost corner. And you absolutely must boost on boost corner. I think I'm cooked, lads. There's haters everywhere. Listen, I would, in all honesty, I'd rather blow up on the final corner than come 55th in the first part of the Grand Prix and then have to ride it out for 4 more fruitless races. I went out on my own terms in that one. One more? No, I will probably, if I had to guess, I will never play this again. This is a thumbnail curse. I was having a good time, but I can tell that next time, I will not be having as good of a time. So we say good run. We say good run to that. You got to look at the counterfactuals here. The counterfactual was Lies of P. I was having more fun dying to the boss in Lies of P. I did see someone posted on Twitter. It was like I had a $228 table of people from Europe. They didn't tip me at all, and they showed the receipt. And then somebody replied, and their name was Ollie, and they said, maybe you should talk to your boss about giving you a raise. And then all of the replies were going insane. The replies were like, smartest guy ever named Ollie, world's least stupid guy named Ollie in history. And I was laughing my ass off. Unhappy with your wage? Speak to your boss. Take your sensitive ass back to Brussels. This is California. We going to hell in this bitch. Let me be hot fries. In honor of Chiblee, hot fries. One dude in the comments gonna be so mad you said my name in a video I'm not in. It took me... Chiblee, let me rephrase this. Let's try to do this in a way that's funny. You need to have a kid. Because I understand that everybody is like... The obvious advice is don't read the comments, okay? Everybody knows it. Everybody who's not a YouTuber is like, were I a YouTuber, I would just never read the comments. Yeah, because like it's so easy to just ignore people that are talking about you like in your own house. What you gotta do, the human mind is really bad at not seeking out negative feedback of itself. The only way that you can make it work, you gotta have a kid. You gotta make yourself too busy for you to be able to have the time to check the comments. It has saved my life. People are probably saying fucked up shit every day in my comments. I can't even imagine, but I do not perceive it. The only time I perceive it is actually, and it annoys the you-know-what out of me, is when people come into this chat and then they say, wow, people have been really mean in the comments lately, sad face. And I'm like, well, why would you tell me that? I was having a good day until I heard that. Irony loves company. I thought you were typing to me. No, someone did the 4chan thing, except instead of green text arrows, they put it in, quotation marks where they said, I have lax moderation standards so that I can't be blamed when people say heinous stuff. How's that for lax moderation standards? I'll see you in the unban requests. Or maybe I won't. I'm capable of taking my own self out of context. I don't need you to do it for me. The even harder part is not replying even when it's the dumbest shit you've ever seen. It is true. The amount of time probably collectively over 15 years that I've responded to like people that I didn't know were 13 years old. I don't even want to think about it. People writing like a fucking essay about how you're a bad person because of the way that you play like This War of Mine or some shit like that. Take me back, man. There's so much I would change. I accept that, Poopy McButthole. I accept that. Can I stream snipe you if I'm bad? Yes! Yes, you can. But your elo better reflect your badness, okay? I don't want you saying you're bad and then I check it out and you're like, oh, I'm in the top 1%. Oh, I got a full scholarship to Princeton. Oh, but I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid and baby. Should we just abandon? Like this, as Chibley would say, shit from ass. They don't even have any damn trumpets this week. What's the point? I guess for a round, I'll hit you with the Luddy. Orca? What about the Orca? Oh, the Orca can give me trumpets? Yeah, I'll just hold a surgeon fish for 12 rounds, hoping an Orca comes out that could then spit out a Nyala that could then allow my surgeon fish to give the unit behind it 6 HP. My ELO's 1389. I want to save a spot for you in the next lobby. Stop making fun of my fingers, by the way. They're perfectly normal. What's wrong with this? Don't give me a complex, okay? Wife guy? See this? See this? Ladies, back off. I'm taken. I'm spoken for. They look like bone-in sausages. Did you learn that expression from your mother? Why do your fingertips hook to the right? I don't know, honestly. How about this one? Everyone's running these silk mods, man. Are you crazy? I'm going nuclear here. Show your nail? I'm happy to report that Nail Saga is over. Hang on, I gotta figure out where I'm going with this one, okay? And it took long enough, for the record, for the Nail Saga to be over. And I'm not talking about my favorite Icelandic book. That's a little bit of a deep cut. You're gonna have to be real into Crusader Kings to understand the joke about Nail Saga. But regardless, it was probably like December 21st. I slammed my nail in the back door of our old place, and it got messed up. It was bleeding all over the place. I could see the exposed nail bed. Over the next 3 months, the bottom of the nail fell off. So I only had the top half of my thumbnail, and then the top half slowly decayed off until there was nothing. And then the whole thing regrew from the bottom to the top. For like the last 6 months, there's just been one little seam like this in my thumbnail, and I was just watching it tick up and tick up and tick up, and I don't know, the lighting's like, it's too strong here. We have finally pushed the seam out of my thumbnail, and now it is normal. My wife's boyfriend said he loves your streams. NL, inexplicably very popular in the poly community. I'm okay with it. You're okay with it. Everybody's okay with it. I support fans of All Stars and Stripes. I even support haters of All Stars and Stripes. I mean, you got to live your life. Surely your whole life is not being a hater of a Twitch stream. You know, you got stuff that you do during the day. I'm smoking that tolerance pack. I literally do not care what you're doing. I used to say as long as it's not criminal, but honestly, I don't even really care if it's criminal. I'm not going to endorse it, but unless you make it my business, you know, I'm not, what am I going to do, right? We draw these! Like if you come up to me and you're like, I stole a car, I'm not going to take you down to the police station. I'll just be like, okay, don't steal mine. Stealing a car, victimless crime. My vulture! Well, you stole my whole fucking flow! Word for word, bar for bar! What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Stealing a car is not a victimless crime, okay? Because there's still, that same car is still on the damn road. If you stole a car and then traded it in for a bicycle, then sure. I'm still freaking out this morning about how I tried to leave my driveway and it was blocked by a truck and the dude hit me with this symbol. Like, yeah, no problem. I get you're at work right now. I'm aspirationally trying to be more like you. Could you not block the road with your damn Dodge Ram 1500? There's a flag on the play. Did you get out and use a T-pose? No, I went like this. I took my hands off the steering wheel and just put my arms like that. Let them know I was grumpy. What was I saying? You get a text from anxiety, depression, and gay Neil Armstrong with a small penis. What you do is that I retweeted that one, right? I thought that was a great tweet. It's like anxiety, you don't deserve anything. Depression, you're going to die alone. Gay Neil Armstrong with a small penis. That's one small cock for me and one huge cock for my ass. It's so fucking stupid. I love it, man. Did Justin laugh? I feel like Justin would laugh his ass off at that. It's just, I mean, it's the cheapest joke of all time, but that's part of what makes it so good, I think. Because you can imagine Neil Armstrong saying it, man. Like, not like he would have said it, but you can imagine his voice saying it. That's one small cock for me. One huge cock in my ass. I'd rather not. Yeah, whatever. He's a hero. Get a life. Oh, man. Why pineapple the yak? It's crazy, but it does allow the mole to summon an 8/8 mole. You're going to kill your yak? Why? Oh, because he does 3 damage to himself. Oh, man. That's so funny. It is so funny to imagine, like, what if Brokeback Mountain was Apollo 13? Or wait, what if Apollo 13 was Brokeback Mountain? And as soon as the astronauts got up into outer space, they just started sucking and fucking each other and giving each other hand jobs and rim jobs and stuff with their fucking 1964 ass Republican haircuts, the weird 52-year-old dad bods, but you know it was the 60s, so they definitely had like 8-packs. Picture Michael Collins manning the spaceship while Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong go down in the lunar module. Bye. All right, make sure you text me when you get there. Oh man, that would be sick, dude. I would watch that documentary, no doubt. Aren't your parents next door? Yeah, they know gay people exist. God willing, they will never ask me to explain the bit, though. I think it's a funny bit. What if all 3 astronauts on Apollo 11 were gay? And the only way they could explore their forbidden love for their gay polycule was in the moon's orbit. This is a fucking tragic story. That'd bring a damn tear to your eye. Stanley Tucci, Jeffrey Wright, and Chris Maloney playing Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. First time 3 men all tied for Best Oscar. No Nathan Lane. He could be Mission Control, okay? Neil Armstrong was a little problematic. Bitch, can we cut him some slack? He's the first motherfucker that stepped on the moon in 1969. We gotta listen, I'm not saying, I don't know what he said, okay? Maybe we don't have to cut him some slack. But if he had normal 1969 guy opinions, I'm cutting him some slack for landing on the moon. He's from Ohio? Okay, I take it all back. I thought of another great tweet that I'm not going to tweet, but Chibli, again. Chibli, if you're still here, this one's for you, brother. What happened to my held foods? Oh, someone got sniped. It don't matter. So here's the tweet. It goes something like this. Motherfuckers will really go to Europe and come back and be like, oh, the food is so much better there. Yeah, bitch, you live in Ohio. It's something like that. No offense, Toasty. I'm still working out the punchline to make sure it hits as well as it can possibly hit. You need something more specific than Ohio? Okay, POV, your ass lives in Columbus. for sure. Which is fine. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There is a fine line between banger tweet and millennial stand-up. Nothing... I mean, let's not even get into the Hasan Minhaj stuff. You fucking made all this shit up, man? I mean, like, all of stand-up is, like, supposed to be made up, but not that. Those were hard-hitting emotional stories, man. You're not supposed to make up that part. You're supposed to make up the part that's like, I was at the grocery store the other day. You're not supposed to make up the part that's like, here's a picture of the dude who infiltrated my, you know, religious establishment when I was 13 years old. That's crazy. That was blowing my mind. Thoughts on all the Zoomers being in the slow dive now? Good for them. I'm still waiting for them to rediscover Sophie B. Hawkins, though. Maybe on Stranger Things, Paramount Plus, original spin-off coming out in 2037. They'll include Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover. The Demogorgon and Vecna will fucking go up into the space shuttle with Neil Armstrong, suck off Buzz Aldrin while Michael Collins is hitting it from the back. Neil Armstrong stuck in the upside down going, "Let me out! Let me out!" What did I miss? You didn't miss anything. You didn't really miss anything. What's wrong with your brain? I'm just trying to make you laugh. What's wrong with your brain? Tell me so that I can make you laugh. Wait a minute. Googled Neil Armstrong problematic, and apparently he sucked on his crewmate's member while they were landing. There's no shot. Listen, I appreciate you've been feeding me bits all day. They're strapped in. Come on. That doesn't pass the smell test. They're buckled into the damn return capsule. They're praying the heat shield doesn't get a crack in it and they immolate themselves. There's no way Neil Armstrong's going... Unless Buzz Aldrin has a fucking hammer on him, if you know what I'm talking about. Even then, I can't imagine. It's got to be, you're pulling like 6 or 7 Gs as you crack through the troposphere. Got to imagine it's pretty hard to keep turgid in that kind of situation. Just doesn't. Listen, I'm calling into question the validity of what you just stated to me. And if it ends up being true, then I'll apologize. But still, Beetlejuice is a good movie. It's a hot take. It's not a hot take at all. I have a hot take for you. No! Yes! I have a hot take for you. Tim Burton is ass. This is my hot take. +2, +2, poodle. Ice cold take. I'm not trying to be the world's largest hater, okay? He made Ed Wood. Ed Wood's a great movie. Produced The Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know if he directed it, but produced it at the very least. But I mean, the man, since what, like the year... Well, it's weird because he made the Planet of the Apes remake that was fucking horrendous. God-awful. Right, the god is Kali Ma, then they wipe off the dust, and it's the spaceship. It says "Caution, live animals." Fucking Deus Ex Machina. The damn experimental monkey comes down through the time portal at the end to stop the apes from killing Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg goes back through the damn portal. The ending doesn't even make any sense. He goes back through the portal. When he gets there, it's the Abraham Lincoln Monument, but it's General Thrawn instead of Abraham Lincoln. It's Abraham Lincoln, but he's looking like a damn chimpanzee. It doesn't make any damn sense. Even as a kid, I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Doesn't make any sense. Then Big Fish, he killed it. That's an amazing movie. But then ever since then, what happened? You're not wrong. If Mark Wahlberg was the star of Beetlejuice instead of Alec Baldwin, it wouldn't have gone down like that. No Michael Keaton-esque macabre jester is going to terrorize my family in our new house, okay? It is not going down like that. You would have heard a lot of grunting, some chanting. Then you would have heard me through your AM radio saying, don't worry, everybody, everything's going to be fine. There's no ghosts in the house anymore. and we would have landed safely in the world of the sandworm. Then Beetlejuice takes out a laminated card with the Texas Romeo and Juliet law and explains it's legal for him to be with his 17-year-old girlfriend, and Mark Wahlberg goes cereal. Okay, listen, I haven't seen that, but I know that that's from one of the Transformers movies. I've only seen the first and the second one. The first one I saw in theaters, and I said that was kind of ass. And the second one I went to see in theaters just for something to do, and I left halfway through. And I think I went to watch The Hangover again. But a lot of those stories get blurred. Maybe I watched The Dark Knight again. I can't remember. I definitely left halfway through. I walked out of Terminator Salvation and then went to see The Hangover again for sure. Because that was also a great disappointment. And then I saw the one where Peter Dinklage is in it. And when his robot dies, he says, what does he say? It's like, Prague, call for reinforcements. And then his heart gets ripped out of his chest. Okay, yak me. Porcupine, that's also really good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Should have gotten rid of the cricket. Oh, what about it? A stoat is such an interesting idea. I'm the Stoat Goat. There's a joke in there somewhere. Because I know the problem is that the BPM on the Kim Petras song is too fast. What if Neil Armstrong did it, though? Just went to the moon. Just saw the Blu-ray of Dune. Just sucked off Buzz Aldrin. I'm the Throat Goat. 3 things that he loves: going to the moon, watching the Blu-ray of Dune, sucking down chili dogs outside the Tasty Freeze. Why run 2 though? So here's what we had. You were just in my lobby and you left. Sag. I wasn't stream sniping you. I'm bad at the game. 3rd comment, backseating. One of these things isn't true. I know you're used to normal Twitch streams where the streamer is talking a mile a minute. The mathematical calculation is going to be right every time. You think that I don't remember your name? Dude, Dark EO with some numbers at the end. Your name is Chartreuse. It's like evergreen. It looks like a beautiful Christmas tree. All of your comments have already been locked in the database, okay? Remember when Apollo told me I wasn't allowed to say GYATT? Think about that often. I think he was actually concerned for me. I think he was like, you can't say that. He's right. He is not right. I have no idea what it means. It's when someone's got that badonkadonk, like Michael Collins in his NASA-oriented spacesuit, so that when they walk by, you say, God damn. But then they've shortened it because Gen Z doesn't have time for that. Stop objectifying them. They were national heroes. I just think it's sad that they weren't able to profess their love to each other in a terrestrial sense, the way that everyone on Earth should be able to. Personally, I think they are national heroes and they should be able to love and suck and fuck whoever they want. Even if it is each other. Especially if it is each other. We still lose? I'm on 1 life. Thoughts on Christian rock? Yeah, I love Creed. I did love seeing all the tweets that were like, the European mind can't possibly comprehend this. And it was like Creed performing at the halftime of a Dallas Cowboys game right after 9/11. And they're singing like higher in the way that only Scott Stapp can. And they got the gymnasts hooked up to the wires, like running up into the sky and like flying into the sky behind them. It's so good. Have you ever seen the album cover for Creed's album Weathered? Probably one of the worst album covers of all time. But anyway, we don't need... No, Disco Dale! Okay, well, you're just not winning. You're not beating Disco Dale on that one. I'll take what I can get on that one. We lived longer than we should have, quite frankly. I do agree, by the way. More people need to listen to Marlins Will Soar, the song that Scott Stapp did to promote the Miami Marlins. Let's play ball, it's game day. We got strikeouts, base hits, double plays. Never heard it in my life? Listen, I'm not going to play the whole thing. Because I feel like that's... I mean, it literally says copyright Miami Marlins, you will soar. But it also says Dr. Dre, comma, Snoop Dogg, which does not seem right to me. Whatever. All of their album covers are shit from Ass? Yeah, but Weathered is like... Look up the album cover for Weathered and tell me it's not the shittiest shit from the shittiest Ass. Where it has like all their faces screen printed on a tree, like they're trapped in the damn tree. Or they are the tree and that's why they're weathered? I don't know. It's just like... It's really bad. And that's not like... I think that might be the follow-up to Human Clay, which is like, that was a big album. I definitely bought my dad Human Clay for Christmas one year. But I mean, it was the year 2000 or 2001. Like, it wasn't like when Creed was popular, everybody was like, wow, Creed sucks. Smart people were like, Creed sucks. But it took the rest of the world, myself included, a long time to kind of catch on. They never sucked, and they still go hard. I ain't mad at you. I disagree, but... I mean, I think it's just that the songs are too melodramatic, man. Like, every song that Creed made was like a life or death situation. Like, Higher was like, we're going to save the world through song. And then with Arms Wide Open is like, my wife's pregnant. I just, like, found God again. My Own Prison is like, I made a mistake, and then I found God again. And then My Sacrifice was like, nobody's ever had it as hard as I have. I'm going to find God. And then One Last Breath is like, God has abandoned me. And then at the end, they find God again. Like, it's just every single one was just like, they don't have like a Steal My Sunshine type bit where they like, they bring it back, you know? They don't have one where they're like just partying. Creed doesn't have a party song. That's their problem. Dude, you're so right. Mika and Creed would go, that would be an insane collaboration. Scott Stapp going like, we're, and then Mika going, I got a man, I said, I can't hit those notes. Bring back Mika and Gautier. I'm so old, I remember when Gautier was Mika. I'm sorry. It's the worst joke. It doesn't even make sense. Nobody remembers Mika. Lots of people remember Gautier. Chibli, can you try tweeting that one? Can you tweet, I'm so old, I remember when Gautier was called Mika? Maybe not called. Maybe just stick with, I'm so old, I remember when Gautier was Mika. You just try it out. Literally, the only time this guy's ever read my comments out loud were for bad jokes based on his own lies of P joke. Here's the thing. People who say shit like that to me, they're like, why did you only read my dumb comments out loud? And I'm like, it's not my fault. There's lots of people in the chat. I read every single one of their comments. Atrophy Wi-Fi, I read like 9 of their comments today. They're feeding me bits left, right, and center. Kept the momentum going when we were flagging a little bit. Sorry, Owl. I appreciate what you've done for me. We're just on a different level here. We're on a different track. No, you summon things for the enemy. What am I thinking? So true. That's what I do. I drink and I spawn things. No, you're right. It spawns things for me. No! To the clone? Of all the indignities? Were you the guy too scared to get sucked off by your clone? This is slander. I was not too scared to get sucked off by my clone. I just have no interest in it. It's you know what's crazy to me is that all the dudes in the call were like, yeah, I'd get sucked off by my clone. But if I said, would you get sucked off by a dude who looks identical to you? They're like, no. What's the difference? It's still a dude who looks just like you sucking your dick. No difference at all? Okay, but like... I know, that's what I'm trying to say. There's something philosophical about it. They're viewing the clone as an extension of themselves, whereas I am saying from the moment of the clone's conception, that is a unique individual. It's a twin, not you. That's what I'm saying, man. That's just, thank you, by the way, for being illustrative of my point. Because somebody said, would you suck off an identical twin? For me, the answer is no. For them, the answer is also no, now that I think about it. But then if your answer was yes to the clone, then it should also be yes to the identical twin. Because an identical twin is your exact genetic double. They just are, they have a different personality and a different set of experiences. The one thing, I'm not trying to say anybody's wrong. All I'm trying to say is not getting sucked off by your clone is the base case. And somehow we've allowed me to get gaslit into thinking that that's the psycho case, when it is actually like the definition of regular. Son of a gun. The truly insane people, well, there's a couple. If you wouldn't let your clone suck you off, but you would let your twin suck you off, you should probably be in prison. I also think it's crazy that you would let your clone suck you off, but you wouldn't let your twin suck you off. Because as far as I'm concerned, those two are almost exact. No, they had a different fourth grade teacher than me, so it's different. That doesn't make any sense. Your identical twin is your clone. The clone knows what I like? Bro, you're a dude. Everybody knows what you like. What's your favorite fungus? Mine's got to be enoki. I would say black mold. I'm trying to workshop a bit where the mold is taking control of my brain. Don't you guys just love cutting a hole in your roof so after it rains you get that nice smell in your walls? You guys should go cut a... Oh, I'm dead. You guys should go cut a hole in your roof right now. Don't be shy. Cut a hole in your roof. Hey, have you guys seen the cut a hole in your roof challenge on TikTok before a rainy day? Oh, Elomi. 4th place, -2 Elo. Make it make sense. Okay, anyway, I'm out of here. Enjoy your weekend. It's always nice to end on a +2. That doesn't happen ever. Really got a lot of momentum out of the Buzz Aldrin bit. You know, I will send you over to Justin's stream. He's playing Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It appears with Sips and Corey, and I'm sure some other individuals. See you then. Excuse me, it's not besmirching a national hero to say that Neil Armstrong should be able to suck Buzz Aldrin. If anything, I'm supporting them more than you ever have. My wife's got a... She's got a yellow moon on Discord. What am I supposed to do? Saw it and then I saw it say, yellow moon means she's away. None of you stand so tall. Yellow moon means no Discord call. It's a yellow moon. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yellow, yellow, yellow moon.